Hello, everyone. Good evening. I know it's late. It's 9:15 p.m. here in California, Southern California. I've been saying that I wanted to do this thing live, and I always got other things more exciting, more important, or more fun to do. So it's been almost a week since I said that, and so I apologize if you've been expecting for this live class, and only now, out of the blue, in the middle of the night, in my kitchen, I feel inspired just to do it, without further ado. And thank you for Leah and Anne and Jill who just joined in. Hi, Lorena. Thank you so much for being here. And before we start, please, you know what to do, right? Like, love, comment, say hello, or forward this broadcast to anyone who might benefit from what I have to say tonight. And tonight is going to be very interesting because probably it's not so much about dating, man, and relationship. Even though, of course, after I address someone's question about actually the sales job tonight, then you can ask your own questions, and I will also read the questions that have been listed like a few days before when I asked you to do it. I'll do my best, to tackle as many questions as possible, and of course as well, you can always put your comment or put your questions in the comment section so I can read it and answer it for you. So ladies, how are you doing? How have you been the last time I was here, the last time I talked to you probably almost a month ago, right, in January. So this is already almost the end of February. This is so crazy, right? As you get older, do you realize that, time is kind of like flies faster and faster and faster. Nowadays, like a year feels like pretty much. It's so true. But I'm counting my blessings every day, ladies. Whatever I do, wherever I am, I'm feeling very grateful about the life I have, about the kind of people I hang around with, which is all of you ladies, beautiful ladies, and the kind of work that I do that change people's lives. It means a lot to me. And thank you so much one more time for being my loyal fans and supporters. I cannot do this alone without your help and support. So before we start, okay, of course, it's a given. Every time Kat went away, and when she comes back, there is always great news in the community, never not a great news, right? And especially the great news usually relates to engagements. Yeah, I'm in the business of getting people the relationship they want. So yeah, I will flaunt it when I have it. So this year we have had 7 solid engagements. And the number 7 was from Number 7 is Sophia's engagement. So Sophia, congratulations. And I'm so delighted that you are engaged to your EUM. One of the reasons you found me, I'm not sure if it was the first EUM or the second EUM because there's so many EUMs around, right? But bottom line is he's an EUM. So that means my staff works on EUM. Congratulations, sweetheart. Just keep us posted when the wedding bell is going to be rung, right? And number 8, engagement, supposed to be if she accepts. You see, that is the wonder of Karina Pang's teachings. Leah, I know you got the ring, right, a few days ago, and you're not sure yet because you just met the guy, and then you are in the course. The course is based on the ebook. It's called He's Really That Into You. He's really that into you. He's just not ready. So Leah is one example probably of how how powerful what I teach is. So the course hasn't even been finished yet. We are on week 5. We are on week 5 still, and then this weekend we're gonna have week 6, I believe, right? So in just 5 weeks, there is already one engagement. So ladies, if you're not in the course and you're so sick and tired of the state of your situationship, what are you waiting for? I have one seat left for the 10% off, but whether or not that seat is taken, March 1st, the price will go on full price. The full price is $799. That includes 20 hours of live coaching, and you can catch up for the first 5 or 6 when the 6th one happens this weekend. And you will be mentored by one of the 3 coaches, and you will have a follow-up 40-minute with your mentor at the end of the program. So if you are so sick and tired of the being in limbo situation with your EUM or the guy that you like the most, this is your chance to turn it around. So don't wait, sign up, take that 10% off. There are 2 payment plans available on the website, on the page, and I'll probably post it later on the comment section or the original post. And there are also 2 payment plans on the page, and I will post it later. If you need 3-month plan instead of 2-month plan, I also allow 3-month plan. And still, if you pay in one payment, it's still cheaper than other coaching programs similar to it, right? And you know that this is going to work because it comes from the very master of the niche when it comes to emotionally unavailable men, or EUM, right? So that's the engagement news. So we have Leah. Let me know. Leah is here as well right now. Let me know if you accept his proposal, because then we have to celebrate. And the funny thing is, Leah just broke up from her ex like a few months ago. So it's pretty quick. Yeah, no need to rush. Do not rush into being engaged. Do not rush into marriage. That it can wait. Really, those of you who are so like gung ho about being married, being engaged, often marriage is not what it's cracked up to be. I'm just being honest about it, okay? Because you have fantasy about marriage, and you're projecting on your EUM or every guy that you date that caused them to become EUM. But reality is, like anything, like everything, relationship is also work. It's not like you got the engagement, you got the marriage, and then all of a sudden everything is roses and rainbows. Not like that. And I'm sure you know it. So don't be duped by the illusion of, or the over romanticism of marriage. Marriage is great, obviously. If you have a great relationship without marriage, is great. The main thing is, how is your relationship? If your relationship is solid and strong, then marriage will be, just appropriate, because you're already having a great relationship. Why not make it legal if that is what you want, or that is what is important to you, or if that is what your cultural values or religious values are, and you are what it's all about. But you cannot sort of stay away from cultural or religious values, then so be it. You can embrace them. I have no problem with that. Okay, but you want to be sure before you jump in marriage. So cannot just meet a guy for a month or 2 and he offers you a ring and then you jump onto it. So wait a little bit until the honeymoon the honeymoon period is over. Then you will know if the feelings are still there, right? Okay. So in the last class, I was talking about how to be feminine and what does self-love look like at work, right? So And I was talking about the fact that, I do my business in a very feminine way. And one example that I gave was that, that I didn't have a sales team, right? So I'm not saying that a sales team is not necessary at all, or it's bad, or it's horrible, or sales jobs are horrible. It's not what I mean to say at all. But if we understand that a lot of selling practices these days, in the modern days, not just modern days, but ever, selling practices take a lot of leaning forward energy, masculine energy, persuasion, right? And a lot of prodding, and a lot of sometimes, and a lot of times, not just sometimes, a lot of forcing people into buying things you're trying to sell, right? That is the impression in general of what a sales job entails. So I haven't done that the last 8 years because, yes, to be honest, because I didn't need to. If I had to, probably then I would have done it. But because I didn't have to do it, and clients just kept coming back, and I never ran out of any clients, never had to hassle clients or to chase clients. They just come to me because I offer, fair exchange for very valuable advice that actually works and works miraculously, in fact, and it was supported by litanies, like myriads of testimonials from you ladies over the years. Then yeah, I don't have to twist you to come to me for help and for me to try to sell you programs and products, because they work and they're also very reasonably priced. They don't break your bank, right? So that is the only reason why I said, one great example that I did my work, my business, a very feminine way is that I didn't have to employ a sales team, or I didn't have to employ sales techniques in my work at all. I just very matter of factly, tell you what you need as a doctor. I said to you, if you come to me, you need these drugs, you need these medicines. So instead of drugs and medicines, my prescriptions are, these are the classes and the programs that will help you a great deal. If you want to do it, it's great. If you don't want to do it, it's great too. I will not be chasing your tails, and I won't even remember who you are. And I won't, I remember a lot of you, but not, after thousands upon thousands, if you don't come back, I wouldn't even remember that you used to come to me and you never come back. Because, the constant flow of the new clients kind of prevent me to really chasing anyone's tails. I don't have time for that. So that is the only reason why I didn't have a sales team, because without it, I've already worked around the clock, nonstop. My service was so sorely needed. That is why. I'm not sure if that is common or in the niche or in the online business great niche or large niche, but that is the situation that I've been facing the last 8 years. Okay, so I will just read the email that Rachel wrote me after the class. Hi, Kat. I watched a video of yours recently. I have your book, where you commented that you didn't have salespeople and that you didn't badger people. Apologies. I'm paraphrasing here. And I just felt compelled to reach out to offer a different viewpoint. I totally respect yours, and I hope you don't mind. I have been in sales my whole life, mostly because my only skills seem to be people. talking and relationship building. And so at an early stage in my working life, I got put into a sales role. The reason I'm reaching out is that more recently, I became involved in sales for coaches, experts, trainers, and people who can actually change lives for the better. I'm not much of an emailer and much prefer speaking to typing. No surprise there. So I may not explain myself very well, but how I see sales is a beautiful thing. You have one person with a painful problem and another with a solution to that problem. And the salesperson is the bridge between the two. Their responsibility is to ensure there is a need or a fit, and if so, help the person with the problem get over their fear of spending money. I have a lot of experience of this. It is very real, and I was one of them. Some people just can't make themselves spend. I'm not talking about $50 here. Without some personal contact, and these people carry on in their misery. I'm really not trying to sell you anything here, Kat. I'm not offering my services or anyone else's. I just wanted to offer this alternative view that there are so many people who are stuck in awful cycles and won't get the help they need because they are too nervous to spend money. Sales is a skill, and used properly, it is a wonderful, beautiful thing. I know I have been the catalyst to people changing their lives. I see the evidence. I'm not the coach. I'm not the one with the genius, but I play my part and immensely proud of the role I played in changing this life. And from a personal point of view, excuse me, when I needed some help, and I did, thank goodness, the woman who helped me through one of the scariest processes of my life, spending a lump of cash on me, was brilliant. I enrolled. I changed my life, thank heaven for that saleswoman. Otherwise, I would still probably be in my old life. I do hope you don't mind sending this and view it with the intention with which it was sent. Lots of love, Rachel. Rachel, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to write that beautiful email. And I don't disagree with you at all. I actually agree with you. You know, I don't look down on any job. I've been cleaning people's house, so every job to me is a good job. If you do it with love, if you do it with total dedication, if you do it with total mindfulness, every job is a wonderful job, as long as you bring awareness into it. And that absolutely includes sales job. Okay, sales job are just as noble as teaching jobs, as my job, or any job. So I'm not in any means, in any way, shape or form, underestimating or undermining the sales job and the wonderful sales people who excel in their jobs at all. And trust me, I've met really, really wonderful salespeople whose charisma and genuineness really captures my interest and heart. So then I spend my money on these people's product or the stuff that they sell. So yeah, absolutely. Great salespeople are so needed in the world, in business. And that, as I said, including my own business, doesn't mean that I don't want to employ a sales team. But because everything for me starts from the gut, right? Starts from intuition, from feelings. When the time is right, I would feel it. I would know it. Like, yeah, I'm beginning to sort of like feel that the urgency to have a sales team beginning to bubble up within myself, right? I still haven't talked about it much or at length, but one of these days, probably this year, we will have a sales team. So if you, wherever you are, if you are good at in selling, and especially in ethical selling, not just selling. You know, I'm not looking for those who will, I hope this is okay. It stopped for a while. I'm not looking for people who are, you know, who will employ like hardcore sales strategy on my clients, like arm twisting strategy, like blackmailing, manipulating, or yeah, basically emotional blackmail or bullying. Some of my clients said that some coaches implement bullying, that is including shaming and guilt tripping. That is certainly not the thing that I would encourage my sales team to do. You know, basically there will be just the extension of the feminine kind of like a rapport-based or relationship-based selling. Because whatever I do in my business, it's very relationship-based, meaning I have to trust you as a person too, before I want to work with you, or before I want to include you in my life, in my work, in my business, in my team. So someone who is emotionally intelligent, more so than high in IQ. IQ is, you know, intellectual quotient, or basically just intelligence. But what is more important, intelligence as we know it, right? Because there's so many type of intelligences. But what is being used in our life is more toward IQ probably than EQ. But now that I'm doing this work, I've seen that EQ is way more important than IQ. Okay, if you're high in IQ but very low in EQ, you will have a problem like having a relationship with anyone, not just men, having a relationship with your boss, with your subordinates, with your peers, with your parents, with your friends, right? So, and those who have high EQ, but maybe not very book smart, they didn't go to college, and they didn't even finish high school, for example, or couldn't finish their college because it was too hard for them, they lost interest. Doesn't mean that they're stupid. They're just not a very book smart kind of people. I used to be a book smart, but these days I'm more like life is my school kind of person. So I'm not into schooling anymore. I feel like, you know, all my life, the first 12 years of my life, I spent like, oh, is it 12 years? Yes, primary school, high school. The first 12 years, or rather 17 years of my life, was spent just trying to sort of like align my brain so it follows societal standard, what I need to learn, what I need to believe in, how I need to think, how I need to see the world. So it's a lot of like force shaping of how I think, of how I perceive the world. So it's like it's too structured for me. The schooling is too limiting for me. And after college, pretty much, my left brain is just like, go poop, and my right brain takes over. So I am no longer a very left brain thinker. Still, I have you know, I'm good probably with logic, but these days especially, you know, I don't think all that much anymore. So intellectual thinking is kind of taking the backseat in my life these days. So I pretty much more interested in talking about my inner process, what's going on inside of me, and I'd like to talk about it. I can talk about it for days, and I like to share that with you guys, because that kind of knowledge, which I call real knowledge, is what is going to change you, what is going to change the world, not the kind of structured, rigid thinking that was imposed through our educational system, right? So so I'm just sharing where I am intellectually and emotionally these days. So yeah, if you are good at what you're doing at sales job, especially, I would like to hear from you. You can write on the comment section if you are a good salesperson, and then I would have Leslie talk to you. Leslie is my right-hand person. She is now the CFO and business development manager of the company. So she's also in charge of marketing and sales and hiring new team members. Okay. So does that answer your question, ladies, about ethical selling and how to sell in a feminine way? So basically, selling in a feminine way is just, just base it on like a relationship. If you I present you with the facts what my programs can do for you, right? And this is the price. If you think it is a fair exchange, you can take it or you don't. I won't do anything if you don't think that is worth the money that you have to spend. Then I'll leave you at that. I will not sort of guilt trip you, bully you, say if you not buying my stuff, meaning you're not loving yourself, you're so lacking in self-love, and probably you should sell your TV or car or anything at all in your possession so you can follow my programs. I'm not gonna do that. I will feel guilty if I do that. What I'm saying? So, and because my programs are so properly priced, I don't have to do that. Pretty much. A lot of you got the results, save your marriage with $200 or even less. What is there to sort of like negotiate on? It's not much. There is no much room really for negotiation. It's a class, but it's chock full with miraculous advice that you will not hear anywhere else, and it's about $97 or $100 or $107, and you think that's too expensive. Well, then in that case, I guess I won't say anything, but then again, because I know I won't overcharge you, I know sooner or later you'll come back. Sooner or later you realize that among the sea of coaches in the relationship industry, you can really trust Katerina because she's the real deal, and then I guess again, I am blessed and I'm lucky that I can sell things with appropriate prices because I have the power of volume. Now I realize that, a lot of coaches and also the new coaches, they are very expensive. At first I thought that was so weird. We don't know these people, and then they just show up out of the blue and start charging $3,000 for their group coaching programs. Like, who will do that? Yeah, there are always people who will do that, who will pay for it. But that takes a lot of arm twisting sales technique to get a handful of people sign up for $3,000 worth of course of program. Especially if you work one-on-one and you want to charge $25,000, of course there will be a lot of persuading involved. Meaning you have to invest time and energy in it. And a lot of coaches that have figured out only recently do that because they have to, meaning because they don't have the power of volume that some people do, like I do. So they really have to work harder to get clients, and because they have to put so much work into it, naturally they have to charge more, because also the base from which they can make money is also a very small pool of people, right? So I guess, not trying to be judgmental, that's why now I kind of understand. Some people have to do it because that's the only way they can make substantial, income, which is fine and dandy. you know. But at the same time, there is, I believe, there is some sort of like ethical consideration, you know, in it, that just because there is no regulation how much you can charge, you know, and then pretty much in this business, you know, whatever you want to pay, that is the going rate, that is normal, that is considered normal, you know, normal practice, right? So doesn't the high price doesn't at all entail quality. So this is something you can learn. You can learn from me. The high price, in fact, shows, you know, that that person doesn't have that much following, that loyal following, and it is harder for them to make money out of the client base or the pond or the pool of potential clients they have. So they have to charge at least 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000, so they can at least make you know, decent amount of money to bring home at the end of the month, right? Which is an understandable thing. Now I lost my train of thought. And why do I think? No, here's the thing, which is fine. But if their main intention is the only way I'm going to make a 6-figure income or 7-figure income in a year is by charging exorbitant amount of money, then yeah, I'm critical of that kind of practice. I'm critical of that kind of coaches. No, you don't come to the business trying to make 6-figure or 7-figure. That is a wrong idea to start a successful business. I didn't come to the business at all thinking about making money at all. In fact, I just did it because I loved it, because it was just like my favorite pastime. So those of you who want to be coaches like me, and your main concern and your main goal is still how to make 6 figures or 7 figures in just plain 2 years, you're already stepping in the wrong foot in the business, because that's not how it works. Just because now you think you deserve a 6-figure income, then you start charging this unreasonable, crazy amount of money that not many people will buy it. And those who will buy it will later on realize the kind of game you're on and badmouth you, think you basically robbed them broke, right? So it's like a bad karma. So when you overcharge people, like in the practice of usury, you know, usury, right? Making, you know, charging like high interest to the money that you loan. That's what usury is. So I kind of put these two practices on the same level. You're charging exorbitant amount of money, you employ manipulative sales tactic and strategies, you arm twist your potential clients, you blackmail them, you bully them, you tell them to sell their belongings or else, and then you kick them out of your group if they don't comply. That to me is Machiavellian, okay? That is to me what a charlatan does. That is to me what usury is. So be very careful. After watching this, you would have you become more cognizant, like more knowledgeable, so you can evaluate and you can judge, you know, the characters that behind these people who are trying to sell you this sort of exorbitant, so extremely expensive programs to you, okay? Because their intention isn't to help you first. My intention was always passionately about helping my clients first and building these cases of successful stories, so then it can help with my sales. That was my intention. So your needs come first. In these coaches who just dream to have a six-figure business without having to invest so much time and energy, work hard in it, and gradually climb the ladders into six-figure or seven-figure, they do it for the wrong reason, which is to make money first. That was what I was trying to say. Okay, so when I employ my sales team, it's going to be the same as I do the sales myself. Yeah, they're going to talk to you on the phone. They're gonna, probably give you a little suggestions of what to do because they know my teachings, right? And then they will offer you programs that will lead you to the right destinations. And these are the prices maybe. And if you cannot, have it in one payment, you can have 2 or 3 or 4 easy payments. And if you pay now, yes, of course, I understand you employ that sort of bonus thing to create some urgency. If you pay now, then you got these bonuses, for example, right? I'm all for it. So anyone who has that experience, yes, please let me know that maybe sometimes this year we can start employing a sales team in my business, okay, in the Karina Pang's empire. All right, how is that as a response, Rachel and ladies? I'm just gonna read some of your questions here. If you have any question, please put in a comment section and I will read it. Let's start. Before I read your questions, ladies, I want to remind you about our events, right? We have so many events this year because we are growing. Number one, we have the full moon party, which is May 18. So if you want to hang out with me, and we have also a workshop in the morning, so you come early in the morning and you can listen to a few hours of me speaking about whatever subject that you think you want me to talk about. You can PM me or email me if you plan to come to the party, or I will consider whatever suggestions from my team and also you ladies, what subject you want me to talk about in the half-day workshop, in the full moon party. And then after 2 p.m., then we're gonna just hit the pool and, we're gonna probably just hang out, have fun, eat a nice barbecue dinner, and maybe we're gonna have a disco party, right? Whatever you want to do, hit the hot tub. It's gonna be fun because as a matter of fact, I do love to entertain, even though I'm a very low-key, very introvert kind of person these days. But when I'm in my party mode, I love to do that. I love to host a party. So please come to the full moon party. I posted the link on the original post. And also don't forget, we have 3 retreats in and outside the US this year. My summer retreat at my home is on June 27th throughout the 30th. And on the last day, on the 30th, I would have a one-day workshop on depression. So if you want to know what depression is and how to transcend it, this is a program for you. Please do not miss it. You can come just for the one-day workshop or the entire length of the retreat, which is a 3-day, 4 nights and 3 days, 3 full-day retreat. Okay, and then the second retreat will be in Ireland, which is sometime in September. So you can also check on the page that I post the link on the original post. And the third retreat will be, oh, by the way, the one in Ireland is in a castle. So please come. It will be like a very interesting and rare experience, kind of in a royal setting. And retreat number 3 is in Bali. And this only this Bali retreat is going to be very popular. We already sold about six seats, and we have 2 more seats left for the $1,000 discount. So ladies, if you want to come to Bali with me at a shoestring, right now still $1,000 discount. Please sign up for the Bali retreat. It's also in the original post, so check it out. And I want also to announce that I've started to have today's special. Today's special is going to be different day to day. We started with the high value class and the ebook, and I still leave the ebook on today's special. So if any of you find $67 too expensive for you, just for the ebook and the bonuses and the secret group support, check my today's special on my website, and you can get it for only $47, $20 off, ladies. And mind you, with just $47, I've helped tons of women getting engaged, getting married, getting the relationship they want, get their exes back, save their marriages, and have babies. So it's so worth it. No one else offers the kind of results and services with $47 the way Karina does. All right. And today, still ongoing, and I probably will remove it tomorrow, is a class on how to manage your emotional investment when he's been stepping up but hasn't claimed you. That class is one of my hit classes, is right now also $20 off. So check on my today's special. It's $87 after $20 off. And this class is the core principle of why what I teach works like magic. It's the principle of emotional management. If you don't understand emotional management, you're going to push any guy away. So please get that class and understand why you've been stalling your relationship with your EOM. Okay? All right, now time for the Q&A.